right, what is up, nation? Welcome to the Light Bars and Loggers podcast, the Jeep podcast where we talk about badass builds, answer your questions, and talk about ways to beef up your ride. As always, I'm Paul with JeepBeef, got Ryan with Combat Off-Road, and joining us tonight, we've got Brent Hensley with a little drum roll from Bilstein Products. What's going on?
What's going on, guys? You know, I felt like I had to do it for myself. I was
going to say, you bring your own like sound effects.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
and it's like your old school radio. He's got like shoes in the back.
It's a one-man band.
Just wait, I'm gonna bring out the coconuts later for the horses.
Right?
To by.
There you go. It gets wild. It was a thundery night, and he's got like the, Anyway,
it's way more talent than I got.
Right? That's now I feel like we need to up our game.
We need some buttons, dude. We need like an intro button and all that kind of stuff.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. The Facebook user says it's me. It's Scott Jabs.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Scott got shocks.
There you go.
Scott did get shocks.
Mike Miller says, "What's up?"
What's up, Mike? What's up, Scott? Sorry.
All right. Robert says, "I'm not making 9,000 comments this time." Oh, do it. That was pretty awesome.
I actually watched the Hammer Lane, and if you don't like this stuff, like the Hammer Lane, I'm gonna be super upset.
You'll be on his list. You'll be taking the names.
Yeah. You won't even be allowed to buy Bilstein shops ever.
That's right. Place an order. You're on the do not buy list. Sorry.
They can do that nowadays.
Brent's list. That's right. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, Brent, give us the 20,000 foot view for those who don't follow you on Instagram or aren't familiar with yourself or your build, your previous build or the current one. Give us the 20,000 foot view and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll first off start by saying most people knew my rig than me prior to being the Brent Hensley as a one-ton Gladiator. So, back in 2019, we built a pretty sweet Gladiator. It went to SEMA for Bilstein. It was the first one on Dynatrac wide axles outside of Dynatrac's rig and 42s, and we really decked it out. And so the one-ton Gladiator thing was a really, really big hit for us. Made it in Motor Trend's top 10 Gladiators of SEMA in 2019, and that's really what helped me excel kind of in the social media aspect, and really mainly on the Instagram platform. So I've been one-ton Gladiator for a long time. Until recently, we got rid of that Jeep. Just beginning of this year, decided to do something crazy, just do an intense new build, and it just had to somehow involve, like 840 horsepower of pure American muscle. And that's where we're at now. So we've got a sweet build from America's Most Wanted, partnered up with Bilstein. Obviously, I'm the Bilstein ambassador for most of the Midwest and East Coast. If you do any type of events and Bilstein's there, I'm typically your guy that you're going to see kind of the face of this side of the country for Bilstein.
Nice.
But
awesome.
High level.
Yeah. Awesome. That's awesome. And I got to say, we were big fans of the one-ton Gladiator too. On the JeepBeef page, like we, obviously know you are, shared it. And it was sick build. Love it. It was great. Robert says, LOL. Okay, so love the shocks for real. Y'all have some sick builds too, and then you're super personable too, which helps. So and your new build is sick. So how about that?
Thank you.
Why don't we talk about that a little bit? Tell us about the new build. So you mentioned the horsepower. What do you got going on?
Yeah. So really wanted to start 2022 fresh, right? Kick all this COVID stuff in the rear, man. I'm sick and tired of that. So we were ready to start something fresh. And I'm like, I got to start fresh with a new build. So we kicked it off with a sweet partnership opportunity with a dealership out of Indiana, LaPorte Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. And we started off with a 2022 Mojave. When I wanted to do this, I really wanted to do something different. One-ton Gladiator was like, we built it to be like the rock bouncer, right? By the time it was all said and done, it was on 43s and the wide axles. And anybody that ever followed along and watched what one-ton Gladiator was put up against, it was nothing to send this thing in the air at 80 miles an hour, bounce up any wall. It was just intense. But when I wanted to do a new build, I wanted something I could literally drive to the event, it be comfortable, but also be obtainable to accomplish most of what I did in the other build. And add some more power. So reached out to America's Most Wanted. That was like one thing I wanted. I wanted a V8. Really was gonna be happy with like a 392 swap, but the guys over at America's Most Wanted, they've got some persuasion. I don't know. They twisted my arm a few times, and by the end of the conversation, I'm in there to do like just a 392 conversion and like not even have them do the build, and I walk out like doing a demon build and a full build through AMW.
Super cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's like, what the heck, man? You like kind of leave their mind blown.
Pocket blown too, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I'm like, I think I might get divorced, right?
That's exactly what's going through my head. I'm like, I'd be done. Like there'd be no. Like,
Well, I like start thinking, I'm like, well, if I quit putting in money towards my college savings account, it's like, what's the number that goes into the checking account that I can also pull the kids' college savings and put it in another account,
right?
And then we can pay for the Jeep. I'm just kidding. I did not train my kids.
But you're gonna get hate mail.
Like, I'm like, screw those little bastards.
Yeah, they can do it on their
own. They should go through what I went through.
That's right.
Absolutely.
But keep them tough.
Yeah, exactly. But no, like when we were doing the build, it was luckily I had the opportunity with the previous Jeep to really kind of aim at what do I want to do, what kind of quality parts do I want in this build. So really the first thing, obviously, when you're doing a big V8 engine, you have to decide on the axles. With this, wanting to be a little bit more like street attainable and be able to drive comfortably, I decided to go with the Dana 6080 combo. The guys at Dana were super awesome. They don't have right now a drop-in 80 rear axle for the Gladiator. But when we talked about what we were going to be doing and all the cool stuff we were going to be doing with this rig, they really jumped on board and were able to provide us with the Dana 80 drop-in rear axle for this build.
Wow.
And then we used the XD60 front. So obviously we really wanted to strengthen up the axles to handle all the power. And then the tried and true, right? I'm your Bilstein guy. We went with a 9200 series coilovers. So for those that don't know, Bilstein makes some really sweet, like off-road desert running suspension setups.
Non-biased.
Completely non-biased, but the Pro 2, the Pro 4 spec trucks, they're running these 9200 beefy 60 and 70 millimeter bypass shocks. They're running 60 millimeter coilovers. So, thankfully having access to know that technology, we were like, let's put a set of racing coilovers on the Jeep, because why not?
Because why not? Because you can.
Because exactly, we have the ability. Let's put coilovers on it and make them sweet. So we did the 9200 series racing coilovers on the thing. They've been awesome. It's sick. I don't want to get too much into the technology around that coilover, but it's been awesome. That was one of the focal points of what we also wanted to hit on this Jeep, being the Bilstein Jeep. It's been really helpful, but so far it's been a sick build.
Amazing.
Yeah. I said earlier, I drove it like a mile at 20 miles an hour. Well, I was really surprised, like how loud the blower is in cabin.
Yeah,
it's crazy loud.
Like, you hit like 2,200 RPMs, the blower starts singing. And it's like, you don't even have to be in it. It's just like 2,200 RPMs. That thing is just whining.
Is that right?
Well, you hear it outside, no problem. But like, I didn't really realize, right? When I drove up in Georgia to go get you off when you dropped your trailer and stuff off, I was like, holy fuck, this is loud, man. Like I wasn't even stepping on it or nothing, but I love power adders. They're so cool.
Oh, it's awesome, man. Yeah.
James says he has Kings on his 11 JK. He checked his nitrogen, and they all had between 8 and 35 psi.
Well, that's interesting.
That's super interesting. Robert wants to know what exhaust are you doing on that thing?
Yeah, so AMW actually worked with
cherry bombs.
Yeah. Actually, the go-to that whenever anybody's like, "Man, what do you got in that thing?" Just because we like to be dickheads when we're out in public, we actually just like got a 4-liter. Like that was super cool to take a 4-liter and stick it in the Gladiator and put twin cherry bombs on it.
There you go.
That's exactly what it is.
Kick ass.
The reality is America's Most Wanted teamed up with Magnaflow to build a complete bolt-in exhaust kit for all of their Hemi conversions. So it's a Magnaflow 3-inch exhaust.
That's amazing.
What T case is in that? I never even asked.
It is a Rubicon transfer case.
Is it the Rubicon one? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's actually like really one of the only things that's kind of still.
So what is it? A truck tranny? Like
it is so they make 2 different transmissions. So if you do a Hellcat conversion, you get the truck. You get the 8HP 75, which comes like the Rams.
Yeah.
But if you do a Demon or a Elephant, you get an 8HP 95, which comes out of the Trackhawk.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
So they go and they get dumped the all-time case, and then they put the Rubicon case to the Trackhawk training.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah,
all right.
and they do some beefing up, for
sure.
the technical specs. They do something. I think maybe the output shaft or something changes or something, but
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Let's see. Gilbert from Hammerland says, "Hey there, buddies."
Hey.
Hey. We know you. Very cool. No, that's awesome. I just realized when you were talking, we did actually meet last year at Smoky Mountain. Were you where Light Bright was?
Yes.
Yeah. I totally. Yes. Yeah. Okay, we totally met. Just briefly, I think Tara Virago, she introduced us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right on. Cool. Yeah,
cool.
It was like super.
That's
quick.
what Brent says when he doesn't remember.
I know, right? I mean, you were there with tons of people.
You're wearing a JeepBeef t-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
You had glasses on.
Yeah, glasses. Yeah.
Right.
I just text Ryan and said, I don't remember this guy. Sorry.
Okay, we have the.
What's this asshole talking about?
Yeah, I was gonna say we have the rating. We're allowed to swear. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
good.
Right.
James says, let's see. I gotta make it bigger. I bought the Jeep and was getting seasickness, which led me to check the levels of the nitrogen. So there you go.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I could tell you typically we keep the Bilstein ones. Obviously, they're all oil filled, and then there's a separator piston that separates the oil from the nitrogen, and we typically keep them charged at around 200 psi.
I was gonna say, right? Usually, any nitrogen shock like that's 150 to 200.
Yeah.
Just depending on what you want. So unless they got something weird. Like, sorry, who said that? I don't know.
James.
Yeah, James. If you got like a coilover, usually the coilovers are like Brent said, like usually in the 150 to 200 psi range all the time. If not, you got some either you could have a Schrader valve issue, like could be just stupid, or you could have some other leak down challenges. Hopefully, it's a Schrader valve because that's super easy to fix. But
you're not pulling the. I don't know if you've got a reservoir or if it's just a coilover with non-reservoir. But if you've got a reservoir, you're pulling the reservoir apart, trying to find that separator piston. It could be a seal around that separator piston, but hopefully it's just a Schrader valve.
Hopefully.
And Nick says, Brent's a great guy. Thanks again for letting my wife get in your rig at the AEV event.
Oh.
Absolutely.
There you go.
I love giving people the opportunity. One thing people don't know about me for the most part is 8 years ago I was not into this industry. I was a tuner guy, honestly. I was
Paul loves the tuner guy.
Me too. That's where I came from.
I'm like, turbo single cam Civics or
Yeah, me too, for sure. 100%.
Like, good B20 VTEX and stuff.
Yeah, man.
So
me too,
I was a
100%.
tuner guy.
Yeah.
Just and nickel and diamond to try to go fast.
Hair gel.
Yeah. Oh, shell necklace.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. Surfs up.
I like the Gino. Like the silver.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
I was like Jersey Shore, man.
Yeah.
We parked on the Jersey Shores, man. Remember we were day drinking, cooking some barbecue. It was good. That was super cool, man.
It was great. We did have a great time at Jersey Shore.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
1 o'clock in the morning, there's little 12-year-old kids running around everywhere, and then we walk 6 miles to the bar with adults. That's pretty good.
I can't believe we walked all the way there.
Dude, so good. I was so sweaty by the time we got there.
Literally,
I needed a drink.
How far was it?
It was a few.
It was like 3 miles.
3 miles. Yeah, but it felt like
is that
forever.
Right? Holy shit!
Like halfway through the walk, we just found some random college party,
yeah,
But I'm like, all right, where's this nightlife? We've been walking for an hour. Where do we go? And they're like, oh yeah, keep going. And I was kind of hopeful they'd invite us in, right? They're playing cornhole and stuff, and I'm like, this would be great.
Good time.
Probably
free drinks. We just go in the fridge.
Yeah, they didn't.
They're like, no, guys, you guys keep going.
You guys keep going.
Keep walking.
Yeah, I think we were about 10 or 15 years too old for the group. So
yeah, they're like these old guys who want to stop and have our free beers.
Get out, man. You're not touching my natty light.
And then there was a street party that we were kind of too late to.
It was crazy. The whole place was shut. We literally walked for 3 miles with no lights on, and
it's dark. It's weird.
We were back to back because we thought we were gonna get mugged, and it's what's
back
going
to
on?
Back.
Yeah,
dude, there were some creepy middle intersections of that walk, man.
It was just super darked out, and then all of a sudden you end up and the road gets shut down, and it's party nightlife.
Yeah.
People drinking in the road.
Yeah, it's weird.
Really?
Yeah, and then Brent got to do like iced wine shots.
Yeah.
Or guzzle in like an ice wine drink. Like a drink is like white wine with ice in it. It's like these guys are like talking like this is normal. We're like,
hey, you want to do white wine shots? And I'm like, what? Or white wine chugs, white wine.
Yeah,
like, you want to do white wine chugs? I'm like I have no idea what that means, but like I'm in. I'm chugging white wine. Yeah, this dude's buying.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, shows are.
It's New Jersey, man. I guess, right?
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah.
Great times in New Jersey.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. We did a show from New Jersey, and I think if memory serves. I think you'd already started that party.
Drinking. Yeah.
Probably. By the end of the podcast, I'm pretty sure Ryan was just smashed. Like,
oh, dude, we were drinking in the daytime. You're on the beach. That whole show, I didn't wear a shirt. I wore bare feet and shorts, and that we were drinking the whole time.
I'm like, we gotta cut off this podcast. I don't know where he's going next.
Oh, that was it. It was just remember we barbecued lunch and stuff. I made wraps and I did all kinds. It was great. It's because the RV got beached right in our booth, so we just left it there for the whole weekend.
For future reference, Ryan's wraps are on point.
Yeah, dude.
If anybody sees the Combat 4x4 or Combat Off-Road like RV, like knock on the door,
go for food,
ask for wraps. If he has a wrap,
his pasta is pretty good too. Like, you can make some. Yeah,
I like making food in there. It's mint.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Yeah, it's like got the like vintage shag carpet. That's like,
dude, carpet's amazing.
It's like awesome.
It definitely sets you back about 25 years.
Yeah.
It's like it's the late 90s, like 98 Florida vacation home decor.
Absolutely, that's right.
Yeah, like there should be like an 87-year-old lady with a small curly silver hair and button up like rose shirt.
Yeah. Got her couple dogs, like her little nurse dogs. Like, come on in. I got the food.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, I remember because on the
pod,
because I think I was like part of one of the questions I asked you that night was something about like regearing, and I was like,
say something weird.
Oh yeah. Well, not really, which is hilarious because I'm like, you always say like max is 5 or 488, right? And then somebody
in the
just
quarter ton, half ton stuff.
Yeah. And then somebody just did a 513. You're like, because they fucking suck. And like,
you're like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, something like that. It's hilarious.
I was just trying to make them feel better, bro.
Right? Yeah. I'm like, oh, we better feel this thing.
Oh, and that's it. Thanks for joining us on the podcast. Exactly. Next week, something else will happen. Right. Stay tuned.
Robert says with an ugly flannel couch in the background. I don't know if it was. Well, no, I think just in terms of the overall
mine's like a weird
aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Mine is great. It's a gray leather couch of all things.
Yeah, a little casting couch going on there.
Yeah, Nate sleeps on it a lot
when
he decides to come.
All right. I don't know. Oh, okay. So James says he put Bilstein steering stabilizer on his 11JK, and it works awesome. I think he said it works tits. I think
tits. Yes.
I think that, yeah.
Well, tits is probably awesome. I mean, anyone that doesn't like tits,
right? It's got to be amazing. And then he put Bilstein's on his 87 Camaro and loves them. So there you go. Lots of love for the Bilstein. I love it,
man. It's great. What's cool is and I don't know, maybe we could segue into talking about the product a little bit.
Yeah, totally, man.
What?
Shut up, Brent.
All right, I quit. No, just kidding. Let's tell more funny stories. All right.
Yeah.
I was having fun with the stories, but let's talk about Bilstein.
No, I think one of the cool things with the Bilstein product, and we got to correct it, it's Bilstein.
Bilstein.
And that was going to be my next question, though, because
it's
because I always say Bilstein, but I also know a lot of Jewish people, right? So they,
like Ben Steen,
right? Like that's so I don't know if it's Bilstein or Bilstein.
Think of the boot,
it's the Stein, right?
It's like Frankenstein.
Stein, yes, a beer. It's a beer Stein, Frankenstein.
Bilstein.
So Bilstein is headquartered globally out of Germany, so it's a German company. But what's cool is they have the North American headquarters, which is actually right in my backyard, practically just in Cincinnati, Ohio. And most of the product that is sold here in the U.S. is manufactured in the U.S. So whether it's made here in Cincinnati, Ohio, whether it's made in Poway, the San Diego, California area, there's some product even made down in Mooresville, North Carolina. But what's cool about the brand, and a lot of people in the Jeep community, they may not know the history or the legacy kind of Bilstein. I mean, Bilstein has been around, kind of one of the OGs. I mean, they've been it started in the racing era, and they've been on factory cars. And if you had a ZR2 S10 back in the day, it came factory with Bilstein shocks, and all the Toyota guys that used to, all the TRD stuff all came on Bilstein suspension. So they're a massive OE company. So even to today, they're on anything SRT line that's coming out through Stellantis or Mopar. They're on the Ram TRX. Tesla, the Tesla Model X and Model S is on it. The military JLTV from Oshkosh, that's on Bilstein. So what's cool is they just have this massive presence in a lot of other things outside of the Jeep community. One of the biggest things that's kind of been limiting on the marketing side in the Jeep world, and where maybe some other companies have just excelled as far as popularity, not necessarily quality, is the fact that Bilstein doesn't make a lift kit technically themselves in the Jeep world. So they make a shock that's awesome, but really you have to pair it up with another lift. So you're buying, whether at a competitor lift or somebody that we've teamed up with, and offer our product with their lift kits, such as AEV, which is probably one of the biggest ones that get Bilstein recognized. But that's kind of how you get the product in the Jeep community. So it makes it a little bit more of a challenge to try to win over some customers that can just go do a kind of a turnkey lift kit from a competitor.
Yeah, I put 5100s on my JK. What I have, I kind of put a few things together, but I put the 5100s on, and they work really good. Yeah, like
it's like a tried and true. It's just like a 2-inch body. They've been making it forever. They've like mastered the seal packs in it.
Yeah, they're very technical, right? Like it's one of the more technical shock companies that I've spoken with, different Bilstein reps, like even just at different shows and stuff like that, and they were able to provide the best information for the shock, where people are like, "Oh, it's a shock," like that's it. But this guy like talked about it and had like a cutaway, showed you why this is better and why we use this. So I really found their knowledge, honestly, just a tier above, right? Like in my experience, like not to say the Fox guys don't know what they're talking about. Like most of the Fox guys you talk to are actually like dirt bike guys. Yeah, really. Like there's not a lot. There's some off-road race guys, but a lot of them they're like dirt bike dudes, right? Like, and but I found the Bilstein guy, like there's some old silver-haired dude talking to me. He knew everything about every little piece in there. I was like, fuck, man, that's pretty serious.
Most of the company takes the job extremely serious. I always kind of jokingly say we're definitely not first to market by any means. We just now released a 2.5-inch body, shock within this past year for the JL and JT that's been out since 2018. But what most people don't realize is that shock has been in prototype and testing and tuning for all that time. It wasn't that we waited 2 years or 2.5 years to start production of a shock and start designing it and spit you something out. It was, this product went through different trails. It was in Moab. It was on the East Coast, and all these different things where we could really fine tune a product that when you finally do get it, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't need, because I always get the funny question like, well, do you have it adjustable? Like a 5100 or 5160, is it tunable? And I'm like, we're like, those ones you don't need to tune those because it's went through all the design and you don't need to tune.
Yeah,
they're tuned, and you'll get some pushback on people that add a ton of gear, and we can talk about that in a whole another realm. But for the majority of people, you don't need to tune it. But what's cool with these 8100s, these 2.5-inch that came out with the JL JT, they make a smooth body which is already pre-tuned. It's ready to rock and roll. Honestly, it's probably the best riding shock, and I know I'm biased, but I'm saying this with all trueness. It's got to be one of the best riding bolt-in shocks for a JL or JT. It's just.
What do you mean you didn't like my FabTech?
I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm just gonna say, I don't know. Like,
what do you mean? Are you on a weird chair right now? How do you feel?
Yeah. But because people want that adjustability, they also came out with the 8100 dual bypass. So it's got an adjustable bypass tube for compression and an adjustable bypass tube for rebound. So the people that want the adjustability, bam, we've got you a 2.5 inch or what it's called a 60 millimeter, because again, it's German-based company, so it's metric based. But
it's all right. Millimeters are smaller than fractions of an inch. You know, you can get a little closer. So it's a tighter tolerance.
Better precision.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Millimeters are good.
Yeah. So all that stuff's coming out, and it's awesome. Even those 8100s, you're starting to see AAVs put them on the Ram Prospectors. You know, the 3/4 ton, 1 ton diesel pickup trucks with these freaking awesome shocks going on. It's just incredible.
So do you think like a normal average bear could tune the shock or what? Or do you think it's a little, you know what I mean? Like
with a bypass? So I mean,
there's a bit of nuances within there, right?
My thing is like, if you really don't know what you're doing, you can get yourself lost in a bypass tube, because it's literally, I mean, if you imagine you've got your shock tube, you've got your piston that's traveling up and down your shock tube, right? And in theory, if you have no bypass tubes, the only way for the fluid to get through your piston is to go through it. So as you're compressing and it's going up, the fluid is fighting and it's going down through the shim stack. And that's how you're getting your compression control, and same thing for rebound. When you get a bypass, it's a tube that goes around where the piston is, depending on where the piston is in the tube. And as you open it up, the fluid, instead of having to force itself down through the shim stack, it can go through the bypass tube and equalize. So you have full adjustability from full open to full close of that tube. And every click is just a little tiny bit of adjustment. So you can really, really fine tune how much fluid is using on the bypass for compression and rebound. But if you're not like counting your clicks, because this isn't like competitor shock that's got 5 settings, right? That I'm going to turn my dial 1 through 5, and it's here nor there if I like that type of technology or not. But this is full adjustability. It's going to have a ton of clicks, and every click is like 1/8 of a turn. And really, when you're dialing these things in, you shut them. That's your stiffest you're ever going to get. And then you gradually
go
backwards and open it, and you just count your clicks. And once you're dialed in, you got to memorize that. And so for desert Baja racing, I know I want to be here. For rock crawling, I want to be here. And then, so that's kind of the idea of it. Mm-hmm. But if you're not really, really diehard into it, you can get lost for sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean. A lot of people ask for these things, and I find not understand what they're actually asking for, and they just saw it or read about it or this, that, and the other. Like I believe, 90% of the people or greater will be just fine with the manufactured tuned shock out of the box based on the gross vehicle weight. You know what I mean? Like you already tuned the shock for the JL, this, that, and the other. Like most people will be just fine, like with that piece of equipment. And I think the extra money and the extra stuff, and then even the extra knowledge or experience is like you need to figure out, like, do you really, really want that? Like, maybe, but I think less people need it or want it or benefit from it than what they think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Personally, right? Or like, who cares? It's your money, so go fucking play with it if you want. Like it's another way, only way you learn too, right? Like, maybe you do spend all this extra cash and mess around with it, and then don't dismiss the product. Just make sure you have the knowledge base. So if you screw this product up, don't go, oh, Bilstein shocks suck or whatever. Make sure you just admit that you're wrong, which is totally fine, because who cares? And then go see someone who knows and see if they can adjust the shock the way you want it. Then preach out there. You know what I mean? I find that's always a problem. People blame the products when sometimes more than not, it's the actual person that's trying to implement the product. That's all I'm going to say. Like, it's not like a bad thing, because I don't know everything, and there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know when I started, obviously, versus what I know now. I'm just saying, like, don't worry about it if you're wrong or you screw something up. Just make sure that it's you, not the product, first, before you start being a butthead on the internet and getting all upset, right? Because I find there's a lot of that on the internet too, like with a whole bunch of products. People just didn't understand what they did, which is fine. Just be like, find someone who knows and see if that's the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and if it is a product, reach out to the company first and go, hey man, I did all this crap. I went to someone who knows, and thumbs up. And I'm sure 99.9% of the time the company's going to go, oh, no problem. Yeah, this is a warrantyable issue, or this, that, and the other. Or you know what? Actually, Tom, you fucked that up when you changed all the dials and shit. you know what? Maybe I'll give you a seal kit or this, that, and the other, and you can put it in, and then we'll just call it even and enjoy your shocks. Like you know what I mean? Like people are usually more than willing to work with you as a manufacturer and stuff. But that's what I find I don't like about the internet, because people like throw things on the bus, not even understanding what happened.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Essie says that they did a lift with long arms and Bilstein Resi recently, and it was such a smooth ride.
There you go.
So probably a 5160. I mean, so the 5160 is the 2-inch body with a reservoir. It's probably one of our most common reservoir shocks, because the 2.5-inch body or 60 millimeter bodies just came out recently. But that 5160, when people see me at the shows and I'm talking product, I'm definitely one that says, I'll upsell you whatever you want, but I'm going to show you what you really need by learning what your application is.
Totally.
For 90% of the people I talk to, a 5100, a 44 millimeter 2-inch shock is all you ever need for 90% of the people. And then I go, if you want something that looks cool, a little bit more ride control, a little bit more heat dissipation, because we get extra fluid, you can get a 5160, but you lose the lifetime warranty. So it's kind of like a hit or miss. It's like, well, because there's more moving parts, it's expected that a reservoir shock is going to be put in situations where you need that heat dissipation and you need the extra oil. Therefore, the components are going to wear faster. But again, for 90% of people, you're really not putting that shock up to its full capacity. So it's like, weigh your options. It's twice as expensive. You lose the lifetime warranty. You get a 2-year warranty on it. And really all you need a lot of times is the 2-inch. But again, I'll upsell anybody. If they want the biggest and baddest, they want a $4,500 set of shocks. Guess what? I'm going to show you the 8,100 bypasses. We'll get you on them, but let me be more realistic.
For sure. She said, yes, you upsold me into the demon.
Oh, there you go.
So there you go. I imagine you're going to be doing that a lot.
She got to drive.
She got to drive it. Yep.
Like if they got to burn it out, I didn't. I just got to drive down the road. I was being respectful.
I know you were being tame, but I guess we just got there, right? I mean, that was when we were unloading and setting up.
Yeah, I was just being official. I didn't want to fuck anything up. And it was the whole event was called Sheriff Jeep-Fits, put on by police.
Was it actually? Because I always wondered if sheriff was.
Dude, all sheriffs there. Like, there's barely any volunteers that were regular civilians. Honestly,
is that right?
Yeah. They're great people though. Like, you probably could do a burnout. Sure. They just thought it was just fine. But I just was like, you know what? It's not my vehicle, obviously, and whatever. And I didn't ask first. He's like, hey, can you just come pick me up? I'm like, yeah. I did say, can I do a burnout while I pick you up? But next time I know better, I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, because I would have said absolutely.
I know. I missed out.
I did.
There you go. I heard it. It made the poo come out faster.
There you go.
I literally heard it like ripping through the wall of the bathroom.
Yeah. Dude, it was insane. It just echoes ungodly when it's outside.
Oh,
but
man.
The cool thing is it's not that loud inside. It's more blower noise inside the Jeep than it is exhaust noise.
Yeah, the blower is crazy.
Impressive. Yeah.
It's cool though. I wish I had one.
Yeah.
But the Demon, what did you say? It's all forged internals, right? Versus the Hellcat is not?
Yeah, so I don't know, like, I don't want to spitball in and somebody fact check me on the internet or something, but...
Well, this is a leisure talk. Yeah, we don't have the internet to back us up right now.
Yeah. But the Hellcat and the Demon are two separate engines. They're both a 6.2 liter V8 supercharged. They've got different blowers on them. I think the Hellcat's got like a 2 liter and 2.7 on the Demon. But overall, through Mopar, they say 66% of that engine is different.
Oh, wow. That's a huge percentage.
Yeah. So it's got different oil flow technology in it. It's supposed to have different rods, different pistons, and some other internal components that are different, that are just meant to handle more power.
Right. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a neat machine.
Yeah, it's a ripper. It is a ripper. I'm missing it right now because it's up at in his back, so the Jeep's been on the road all summer. So we got it. We literally got this thing done. Shout out to America's Most Wanted 4x4 because they did an entire build. I'm talking like, you should see the pictures where, this thing was a bare frame.
I saw the frame off. I saw the girl welding it and stuff.
Yeah. So
cool.
Shout out to Peyton. She's awesome. She's a welder up there. She did all the welding on the frame and stuff. But it's a bare frame. And they did the entire build from realistically in like 5 weeks, maybe.
Oh, wow, that's
From
pretty
like
wild.
frame off to getting everything all on, all the coilover towers welded in, everything that they got to do right to make this thing be a
Do they do a lot of
turnkey.
reinforcement for the chassis?
No, there's not really much reinforcement in it.
I was just curious.
Yeah, no,
Just mostly shock towers and stuff.
yeah, and they really start with
motor mounts.
They start with the Mojave frame, I'm guessing, because it's like a little bit more strengthened from factory, I guess. I don't know
Right.
all the details, but it's supposed to be a little bit strengthened. I don't know.
Sounds good. Sounds good on the
sounds right.
media.
Yeah.
Lane's here.
Prove us along.
Lane, what's up, Lane? He says he didn't really ask, but he said go for it, and he wasn't passing up that opportunity. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, that is true. I did tell Lane, I'm like, let's just do this.
there you go.
That's the other thing I can tell you. If people jump off, if people see me in public, ask me to go for a ride. Be generous. If depending on how I'm feeling, ask me to drive it. I love letting people experience this thing because I'm telling you, like I've had it all year, and I'm still like giddy, excited. It's insane. I want everybody to feel what a freaking 840 horsepower V8 feels like in a Gladiator.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
He says it was a blast.
There's some out there, but really, I mean, in the grand scheme, there's not tons of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
I mean, they're just little unicorns out there, little here and there, right?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Amazing. All right, I lost my iPad; it was stolen. But
does that affect us, Paul?
No, it just has my notes and all that fun stuff on it. So it's all good. It's okay.
Brent, talk about these little beverages you're drinking off to the side.
Oh, you like that? Yeah.
Pretty serious. Looks like a fitness drink, except it's alcohol.
So you got to read it, right? It says red cream soda.
Oh, what's that mean? So
hard seltzer. So
you just drink that on one time of the month, or
you know, like Barg's red cream soda. You ever had red cream soda?
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
this tastes just like it.
Oh, really?
Up here it's just cream soda, though. I don't think we put the red in front of it.
And
we don't. But I mean, there's like certain red cream sodas.
And then you see this one,
clear one.
This one says Blast. Blast is ever had Mountain Dew Baja Blast?
No. I've had Mountain Dew.
Right, we're sheltered.
Oh man, so there's a Mountain Dew Baja Blast. It's in a blue bottle. So
I've seen it. Yeah.
This local brewery, they're local here in Cincinnati, called March 1st Brewing. They have like found a way to like make seltzers taste like normal sodas. Like, so they've got one that tastes like root beer.
Wow.
One that tastes like
you're just gonna get white girl wasted.
Yeah, I mean, this is so awesome,
Well, how much alcohol is in that thing?
5%.
Well, that's pretty good for the Americas.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I think
they usually don't let you guys have that much alcohol percentage of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
That's awesome. So 5%, and I think it's low calorie. I don't know. I like
it. Looks low calorie. The cat.
Yeah.
I mean, the can's slim.
Yeah, it's a slim.
It's gotta be
yeah. So
it's gotta be low calories.
I'm watching my weight, guys. I'm trying to look good.
I watch for
winter.
Just slim down for winter.
Amazing. So what do you all have next? Like, are you done for the year for shows, or?
Yeah. So honestly, we were gonna do SEMA.
I was gonna make wraps at SEMA if you want.
Yeah, I know. So the reality is we were gonna do SEMA, and I've been on the road all summer long, and SEMA's epic. But honestly, I started kind of getting. I was ready to be home, right? I've got a family and I've got 3 kids, and it's just it kind of got to me. I'm like, I think I'm gonna take SEMA off. So we were gonna send a Jeep itself, and actually, just prior this week, we decided that we're gonna go ahead and keep the Jeep back. It needs some tune up kind of work. Again, this thing was pushed out in April, and it's been hammering down all summer long at event after event. I mean, we literally took this thing brand new, no miles on it outside of like a little bit of a street tune, and put it on a semi, picked it up in Moab, and took it like straight to Poison Spider. So this thing is like, so like literally from that point, it's never had a stop all the way up until we were in, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago, we were at Detroit 4 Fest, and we're hammering this thing around like the racetrack, and we're jumping it. So it's like, this thing's just been beat on all summer long. So I'm like, you know what? Like the Jeep needs time off. So it's up at AMW getting some much needed love. I mean, it hasn't even had an oil change yet. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's got 1/3 the tire left. And
literally
hasn't had an oil change.
Hasn't had an oil change. Over half the tires burn off in the rear. So I'm like, we need to like rotate those tires. We need to put the fronts on the rear.
You're gonna look like a hot rod now.
Yeah.
Right. like you with your little donut tires on the front of your.
Yeah, it'll be like that.
They reverse. Where? So if people want to take a look at this, what's the best place to go and see? Like, is it your Instagram account? Or does it have its own Instagram account?
Yeah. So I would just go straight to my Instagram. So that's just at the Brent Hensley. That's going to be the easiest way to spot me, spot the Jeep, spot where the Jeep's going to go next. Typically, we're always sharing on the page kind of where we're at, what we're doing. For the most part, I'm at all these events on behalf of Bilstein. So typically it's in the Bilstein booth. I'm typically running or, co-running the Bilstein booth. So if you want to talk product or just see the Jeep or just hear it fire up, if it's outside, they don't let us fire it up inside. But if you just want to check it out, literally just follow at the Brent Hensley on Instagram. We also do have a YouTube channel, which is still 1 Ton Gladiator on YouTube. Part of the build, this initial build, if you get into the details and kind of want to see some of the stages of the project, you can go to the 1 Ton Gladiator YouTube page, and you're going to see a little bit of kind of when we picked up the Jeep from the dealer as a brand new Jeep, and then cool. It rolls into some of the frame stuff. So a lot of that entry level stuff. We didn't do a ton of content throughout the summer, but a lot of that build progress is on the YouTube page.
That's killer. Lane says, "I told you I could have done it when we were at the shop. I bet they were toast.
And oil change?
I assume the tires.
Yeah. He was going to do the tires.
Oh, rotate the tires?
Yeah.
Fuck, Lane throwing oil change in your cheap.
I know. Seriously, man.
Fuck.
I let you burn off an eighth of the tire.
We're all friends.
That's awesome. Does Bilstein does it have? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, does it have a Instagram account for off road, or which one is the best?
Yeah, so there's and Bill. I will say Bilstein's Instagram gets kind of fuzzy. So there's multiple Bilstein accounts.
I was gonna say because there's Germany, there's different countries, and there's
that's the thing. There's all these little different.
So if you start seeing bratwurst and stuff, you got to go on.
You're in the wrong one.
Yeah, you're on the wrong. You're literally on the wrong one.
Yeah.
But for the
later
US,
hosen.
For the U.S. market, it is Bilstein US. So just at Bilstein US.
That's easy.
Yep. So that one's nice and easy. If you just look up at Bilstein, that's actually ran from Germany Global. That's going to share everything. So you're going to see a lot of the Porsche line. You're going to see a lot of the, kind of more exotic cars.
Still cool though.
Yeah,
still cool. Yeah,
super cool stuff. If you are into the exotic stuff, Bilstein does a big thing for the Nuremberg 24-hour race in Germany.
That's pretty cool.
So they share a lot of that content on the Bilstein main page, the global page.
That's amazing. Lane says he totally would have. He says the burnout was worth it. So there you go.
Now I know. Next time I'm down in Georgia,
I was just gonna say now you're gonna hold them.
Burnout.
Yeah.
10-second burnout. Let's go to
Let's go
get the oil change.
Yeah. That's right.
It's on. It'll be on the internet forever. You'll never.
I don't even know how much oil that motor takes. I have no idea.
It's probably It's probably a 7-liter pan.
Yeah, I got nothing. I don't know.
That's
easy. The internet can tell us. That makes dumb people smart all day long, right?
Yeah, right? Exactly.
We'll get 7 different answers, and then they'll fight about it. And then you're an idiot.
Yeah, well, really,
so stupid.
Really,
these guys they drive a Ford Taurus. You forgot to compensate for the oil filter reservoir.
Right. And the drag on the rear girder.
Everyone knows there's oil in the cooler, idiot. Super good. These guys drive 87 fucking Pontiac Firos and shit.
Yeah.
Lane says you got a deal. So there you go.
There you go. Free oil change.
There you go.
Synthetic, Lane. Don't fuck around.
Yeah, don't screw it up. and I want a Mopar oil filter. I ain't no AutoZone. I want a Mopar. Yeah.
You know what? The AutoZone with the big lightning bolt on the side is sweet oil filter. Made it just feel like children's paper inside, filtering out your motor.
Awesome.
Good.
All right. Well, so for you, for the rest of the year, if you're not going to events, do you what do you do when you're off?
I'm just hanging, man. Yeah, just like I
love
said.
It.
The cool thing is, I've got 3 kids. My daughter cheers. So this is getting in the football season.
Oh, there you go.
That stuff out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's gonna be hanging out. Really just taking the time off, thinking about honestly, I like to do something different every year. So the Jeep's going to come back different for next year. So we're
different hood lights and the taillights, maybe.
Yeah. Should we bring up the taillights?
No, not the way you're going to bring them up.
I'm just kidding. I love the
He wants proximity sensors. And he's being a big homo about it.
I'm like, yeah.
He's like ball buster. He just takes my balls, puts them on like a chopping block, hits them with like a soft meat mallet.
Yeah.
Hey, look at him. He thinks it's funny. It hurts every time he says it.
It's awesome. You know, I'm like, you know what? It's like I paid for blind spot monitors on the Jeep. You know, it's like
you're not a 70-year-old grandma of 19 either.
You know, when I'm blazing through with 840 horsepower, it's really important that I can see.
No, you
in my blind
memorize
spot.
the car that's beside you, then it becomes behind you, then you lane change. It's super easy.
Well,
just like the last 100 years of people driving vehicles.
What if we're doing legal street racing? You know, because you don't have to worry about a racer. You know,
yeah, we should race. I don't have anything to race you with. Actually, no, I have that.
You have the vet, don't you?
I have that couple. Yeah, the supercharged vet. That'd be fun.
Would be bad. No, it would not be fun for me.
I think that vet actually hooks up real good.
But
I really do want a power adder Jeep at some point. Gotta sell some junk.
So that's it. So really, the next thing the Jeep will go really an undertaking. We're gonna change some things up, and it will really kind of. I know it sounds silly, but we kind of unveil it. Typically, Easter Jeep Safari. So Easter.
Are you gonna go to Easter Jeep?
Yeah.
2023. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So
hey, we got an event we should talk to you about. Maybe you'd be interested in. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's
Texas.
Top secret. Yeah. It's top secret, but it's in Texas. I'll tell you the dates. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But don't tell anybody.
Do you want to publicly announce real quick?
Right, exactly.
Make everybody feel like they're on the same page.
So right.
Yeah.
Well,
we're leaving everyone in the dark.
Right. Yeah. So we'll talk about it. It should be fun. We're doing an event in March in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just come. We'll just go off-roading a bit.
Yeah. That's it. It's totally off-roading. Lots of fun.
We're gonna do the vendor show though, right? As well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Vendor show and then vendor
but we're gonna make it like we were chatting about, like to make it where 100%. Everyone can kind of So Paul's doing it, but we're doing it. We're helping Paul and everything, but obviously, basically we'll be able to vend and we'll be able to go four-wheeling and interact with people on both levels, like go four-wheeling and do part of the event and kind of enjoy. Everyone kind of enjoys everything. So and then it'll be at a cool off-road park. I've never been to that particular park, but
we'll cool. Get it's at. Okay, don't tell anyone, but it's going to be at Maris in Texas, and we've got some really cool things planned. It's super limited though in terms of like the numbers of people that we can get there. So it's going to be a little bit exclusive. No, much less to be honest. But in terms of rigs, right? This year anyway, right? So we're gonna do it a little bit smaller. First year, make it like kind of VIP, really get to know people, and it should be a lot of fun. So
cuddle
March, and there will be that cuddle night. Yep,
that's right.
That's
gonna be on Ryan's couch in the RV.
That's right. He's bringing the RV, and we'll just all line up outside for a Ryan cuddle,
free cuddles,
and a wrap. On the way out.
It's wrap and a cuddle.
If nobody's seen Ryan with his shirt off, I tell you what, man. He is a cuddler there.
Yeah. If you're cold, I'll help you.
That's right. All right, awesome. Real quick though, other than your Instagram, is that the best place for people to find you, or do you have a website or Facebook, or just hit you up there?
Really, that's the best place currently right now is going to be Instagram. We do have a Facebook. It is if you want to jump on there and check it out, it will just kind of get it up and running. It's still under One Ton Gladiator, just because again the whole name change is kind of recent. We've been One Ton Gladiator for 3 years. That's what we built most of the following based on was the Jeep. But one thing I really wanted to do was just kind of turn more of a focal point to let people know who I was as a personality.
Good idea, sure.
Because I'm not going to keep the same vehicle forever.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're adding cool stuff. So another thing is if you're following me on Instagram, you're going to see. I've got a couple CJ2As.
Oh, right. We didn't even talk about those.
Yeah.
Fucking mint, dude.
So, I've got like a Navy version, and then I've got an Army. Lookalikes, obviously there's civilian versions, but they were kind of meant to look like that. Also, we're doing some cool stuff. I've got a 2022 Duramax 2500 that's going to be going through some cool stuff. So, that was the big thing. It's like, I kind of want to just tailor it in and just say, hey, I'm Brent Hensley.
I got stuff.
yeah, check this stuff out. If you got any questions, come find me. If you want to do a burnout in my Jeep, also just ask, and I'll let you do a burnout.
That's right.
I gotta
ask an
ask.
oil change.
Yeah. It's all this.
Give me an oil change. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start carrying around a tip jar. So for like, I'll let you do a burnout, but like you got to put like money in the tip jar.
Yeah,
dude, you got to just have it like a square.
ATM.
Just people tap their card
man.
to it, dude.
That's I keep forgetting like technology nowadays.
I know.
You can literally just
track
anymore,
and you'll be tracked and
you should have cash though.
In the IRS. Yeah.
Everyone listening, cash. Keep cash alive, guys. Don't let these idiot politicians fool you. They're just looking to be able to turn it off and on your shit. Keep cash.
Yeah.
And for purposes, when you see me, you can give me cash and you can do a burnout.
Right. There you go. Exactly.
If anything, keep cash for Brent.
That's
right. Hey, do you get new tires for 2023 or what? You probably need them.
We are going to do new tires for 2023.
Like, do you have a tire picked out or no?
No.
All right.
But we're going to go bigger. So that's all.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So right now, just so everybody knows, we're on you can hate me, but I'm on Pro Comp 40s.
Hey, I got those.
Pro Comps are not bad.
They're okay.
I ran Pro Comps.
I have the MT2. I have the same tire on. We had it on the JK and my Gladiator.
Yeah, there you go.
No, it's been a great tire all year. Like I said,
they're a good driver and they be fine off road. Like
yeah,
they're not like crazy hardcore, but
yeah. My biggest complaint was, and I'm allowed to complain because I purchased these.
Right.
But my biggest complaint is like when you're down at like 10 pounds, it looks like you're on like 2 pounds. There's like no sidewall.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. They like
I've never really taken them down
out.
that far.
Yeah. So like you get kind of sketched, like, oh, am I going to tear a sidewall out?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Regardless,
don't they say 3-ply sidewall on there somewhere on the sidewall? I think.
I don't know. I think it says like we balloon out sidewall or something.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Don't air down below 15 pounds.
You only see it when you're actually aired down, and then
it
like,
comes out.
That's what it says.
That's why we don't do this.
Right.
Yeah. So. But when we did that is I had intentions of actually driving the Jeep to events, and so I was like, I want a road streetable tire,
like a radial, right?
But then I was like, oh crap, I'm getting 6.1 miles to the gallon. So I'm like, wait, I could actually pull this thing way easier. For a little while I was pulling it with an Escalade. It was hilarious. We were definitely overweight, but it was like I was getting like 12 miles to the gallon towing it. So I'm like, it's cheaper to tow this thing around than it is to drive it. Now, we are getting some updates up at AMW that are going to help fix that fuel mileage and get us in hopefully the 10-11 range. Makes it more drivable. But now we've got the 2500 Duramax. We've got a nice trailer, thanks to R&R Trailers out of Michigan. So we've got a trailer. We're taking this thing around. So now I'm like, you know what? Now we can go all out. Let's do a big tire. So
that's cool.
It's gonna be on big tires next year.
Yeah, right.
Like 43s.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, fine.
It's kind of like a secret, like the Texas event. I don't know.
Friends.
Yeah. Exactly right. All right. Amazing. Well, listen, Brent, a lot of fun. Thank you for being here.
Man. Thanks.
It was really super interesting hearing all about the projects and Bilstein and every time I have to say, I know I'm kidding. I was just gonna say every time in my head I have to say Frankenstein before I can say it. Like Frankenstein.
There you go.
Bilstein. Got it.
Just say Frankenstein. We'll know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's it. That's a t-shirt those guys should make.
You totally.
Bilstein.
Yeah, I actually want to make that t-shirt now.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it is a great idea. If not, you just make them and sell them at the shows and make
them with me.
Yeah. And
I'm
then
gonna set up
your
my own side tent,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You don't even need your tip jar anymore. Just buy a t-shirt.
Buy a t-shirt.
That's it. Right. Support.
Bilstein? No, Bilstein.
Bilstein.
I love it.
You know, you can have on the bottom like really small. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Not at all sponsored by Bilstein.
Exactly. Not affiliated whatsoever with Bilstein.
Exactly.
Another 10x10 beside it.
Amazing. All right. Well, listen. Thank you so much for being here. Again, had a blast.
Yeah, man. Great to see you.
Everyone that tuned in and stuck around to the end, we really appreciate you. And everyone that listens to the show, appreciate each and every one of you. If you're listening in the audio afterwards, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. If you want to be on the show or have a topic idea, hit us up at podcast@JeepBeef.com. And until next time, until next week, same bat channel. We're going to be on the old Facebook, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Ish.
That's right. We'll be here next week. And until then, I guess that's it. We're out.